Hey, what's up, guys? So I'm streaming right now. If you want to come check out the stream, I'll put that in the description. It's been a while since I've streamed. But anyway, today's video, something happened a couple weeks ago that I thought was kind of funny, and I was on FaceTime this morning at like 5 a.m. with one of my friends talking about it, and he knows all about this YouTube shit, so he's like, have you made a video about that yet? And I was like, well, no, it was only a couple weeks ago. And he's like, well, you gotta talk about that soon, dude. Just do it. It'd be funny. And I guess he's right. I mean, it is kind of a funny story. I did end up getting completely just destroyed / roasted by this fucking movie theater employee. And I thought it was kind of funny. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Leave a like if you do. Here it is. So this all starts with me and my one friend wanting to go to a movie, okay? And like, literally haven't talked to this person in forever, but she's been a long-time friend of mine, and it was like the first time I've seen her in so long, and she wanted to go to this movie, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like, this movie was a little bit of a chick flick, okay? So when it started, I'm sitting there with like my head on my hand, just like watching this, like, super dramatic-ass movie, just sitting there, and I'm like, this movie's not really for me. I feel a little out of place. And I guess the most fun part about this entire night is we had the entire theater to ourselves, right? So, like, nobody was in the seats. The whole theater was to ourselves. The one time when someone came into the theater was one of those movie theater employees, and they had, like, the little fucking orange light things, and he kind of, like, looked around for, like, food on the ground and shit, and then he would just walk out, and that was pretty much it. And that was, like, the one time we saw someone else. But we're sitting there, and we can be as loud as we want, talk through the movie. Not really good to do that, but we were alone, so it didn't really matter. And I'm not gonna lie, with me being so fucking bored, I decided to, like, get up a few times for the movie, jump up and down a little bit, fuck around in the theater, just because I knew no one else was in there and I wouldn't disturb anyone, and my friend thought it was funny, so I just kept doing it. And, yeah, I was being pretty obnoxious. I usually don't do shit like this, but I was being obnoxious, and I just had this feeling of being, like, completely untouchable because no one else was in there, so I just kept fucking around and being super, super annoying. And finally, after some time, this movie ends, right? We're sitting there and it's rolling the credits or whatever, and we're just sitting there watching them, not getting up for some reason, and the movie completely, like, stops. Like, we stay basically to the end of these credits, and I jump up, and my friend's laughing her ass off because I start like jumping over the seats like a fucking horse, okay? I'm like pretty much galloping over the seats of this movie theater, just making myself look like a complete fucking idiot pretty much, jumping over these seats. And I wasn't like landing on them and like fucking up the seats or anything. I was just jumping into the rows and stuff like that. Like, I wasn't trying to intentionally, like, land on seats and ruin them or anything. I didn't land on one seat, actually. I just kept jumping in between the little, like, walking area of the row. And, about halfway through jumping through all these, I hear this loud-ass fucking, hey! And I turn around and I just see this guy sitting at the top of the fucking theater. And my friend, she's still sitting where we saw the movie, so she's at, like, the top of the theater in the very last row, and she's just, like, got the straightest face on. And this guy's only a few steps away from her, just, like, really big, kind of looked like a peanut. I'm not gonna lie, he looked a little bit like a peanut. And he's just standing up there at the top of the theater staring at me. And I'm like sitting in this row now, like I immediately sat down when he yelled. And he starts walking down the stairs real slowly. And he comes over to my row and he walks over to me and he's like, stand up. And I get up and I'm like, okay. Well, I don't know what the fuck's about to happen. I have no idea who this guy is. I can't see anything because the theater's fucking dark and like the lights are super dim. And I just barely could see what this dude was wearing. I didn't know if he was an employee, a random fucking guy. And he gets like a little bit closer to me. Kind of like gets in my face a little bit and just starts yelling at me, like just laying into me about how I'm such a bad person. It's such a nice night, and he's just sitting there trying to do his job. And when he said this, I was like, okay, he's probably an employee. And he's just saying about how he's trying to do his job, and fucking scumbag teenagers like us had to come in and ruin it. And that's literally how he was saying it. Like, he literally said, fucking scumbag teenagers like you guys gotta come in and ruin our nights. And I was like, okay, dude, shit, like, I'm sorry. He's like, oh no, you're forgiven, but just stop being a fucking loser. Like, dude, you're a loser. Like, who actually goes to a movie meant for girls with, like, a date and then jumps around the theater like a fucking loser? And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, okay, fuck, dude, like, I'm sorry. He's, like, just completely destroying me. And my friend's up there, like, speechless. She's just watching. And he's just like, listen, man, just go home. Just take your date. Go have a good night. And I'm like, well, she's just a friend, man. He's like, oh, just friends. Oh, she must think you're a loser too. And at this point, I just start fucking laughing my ass off in the middle of this theater in front of this guy because it's hilarious. Like, he's just going in. And keep in mind, this guy was so much older than me, like late 30s, maybe 40s. And he's just going hard. You're just fucking laying into me. I don't know. He must have like a super bad day. And just like I was the final straw. And he just took all the anger out from that day on me. And he just told me, he's like, all right, go. Like, leave. I was like, all right, dude, let's go. And I called my friend over and she starts walking down. And I know there's going to be that comment like, dude, did you even do anything? Like, you let this guy fucking roast you in the middle of a movie theater with your friend? Like, that's kind of messed up. And I don't really get offended by shit like this. I actually find it a lot more funny. I don't know, just like some older guy at a movie theater just completely tearing into me. But right before we did leave, I did have to say one thing. I couldn't just go without saying anything but sorry. So I just said this. I was like, look, man, I don't know who's shit in your cereal this morning. You seem to be having like a really, really bad day. And I pulled my phone out. I was scheming something, okay? And I get on Google and I'm on my phone looking down at it. And this guy's like, what'd you just say? And I'm like on my phone typing something in really quick because I was searching something. And I was like, no, man, I'm just sorry. Like, you don't seem to be having a good day. I definitely didn't make it any better, so I'm sorry. He's like, whatever, get out of here. Take your friend, leave. And I was like, wait, hold on. One more thing. I think I know who your father is. And I showed him this photo on my phone, and he just immediately freaked the fuck out. He's like, get out, leave. You're not funny. You're not a wise guy. Fuck off. And I don't want to scream in my mic, but it was a lot louder than that, okay? Like, he actually, like, screamed in the middle of this theater at me and my friend, and she got freaked the fuck out. I'm just sitting there kind of laughing because I compared him to a peanut. But, yeah, we got roasted, okay? That's the moral of the story. I got roasted. But that was pretty much where it ended. He called me a fucking loser, which he's not all the way wrong. I called him a peanut, which, in my opinion, I wasn't all the way wrong. And we went our separate ways, and that's where it ends. And I told my friend about it, and he was fucking laughing his ass off. And he's like, dude, you gotta talk about that on your YouTube channel. So here I am telling you guys about it. So I hope you guys did enjoy this story video today. Leave a like if you did enjoy it. And yeah, feel free to leave any of your guys' stories in the comments below. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.